Today I decided to dive into the App Store and see what anime games were being promoted by Google. I want to determine whether these anime games are any good to play or if they're a waste of your time. So let's take a look at 15 of them, and they're either going to get the Echo approval or they're not. First up, we have Azur Lane, which is a tactical RPG single player experience. Now, something you're gonna notice is that the graphics in all of the games that we're looking at here today, or many of them, actually look very good. But sometimes the gameplay looks quite a bit different, as we're seeing in this instance right here. The cutscenes and all of that looks great, dressing up the girls. But then the gameplay looks very childish, and maybe it's not all about graphics. But for me, this is one that I would want to see the gameplay actually look like everything else that's being promoted by the game. So for me, this is one that I would probably pass on and not download. It does not have the Echo approval. Big news, Loki the Deceiver is coming back inside of Raid Shadow Legends, which means it's another great time for you to play the game. But before we dive any deeper, I want to thank Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring today's video and urge all of you, if you have not done it already, to download the game using the QR code above or my link in the description of this video. I absolutely love this game so much so that I started a brand new YouTube channel. Well, actually, it's not brand new anymore. It's been around for about 9 months because I love the game so much, putting out videos every day. Make sure you subscribe to that channel for up-to-date stuff inside of Raid. The link is in the description of this video. So now what's coming to the game? So yeah, guys, Loki is going to be available for you again inside of the game. It's an amazing opportunity to get a free legendary champion just for logging in. But not only that, if you dive into the game now, within the first 7 days, you'll get Loki, and then 7 days after that of logging in, and you will get extended rewards, making Loki a beast that cannot be touched inside of Raid Shadow Legends. Now you can get another group of mythology focused and themed champions inside of the game through the sim event, including Thor, Odin, and Freya, just to complete your mythology focused team. And there is even a special event dungeon going on that you could dive into called Ashgard Divide with your newest champions. Put them to the test over here and see if they can come out a winner, a victor, with more experience and more strength. Now remember, these are the last 7 days that you could log in to get yourself involved in this amazing opportunity. If you're a new player to the game, there is no better time to play the game than right now. Using my code will get you an additional free champion called Rector Drath, one of the best reviver, healer, epic champions inside of the game, a bunch of other rewards to boost up your account, and then you can get Loki absolutely for free, being that login champion to be maybe your first legendary champion on the account. And if you decide to play the game, come check out my clan. It's called Echo Raid. We're a level 11 clan, and it looks like there's one spot available in the clan right now, and that could be for you. Now, after you go ahead and download the game with my QR code or link in the description, the way to get the maximum amount of rewards inside of the game, come check out my YouTube channel. It's linked down below so that you can stay with me on my journey, and maybe even we could play together in Raid Shadow Legends. Extraordinary Games is a strategy style action MOBA game that definitely brings that anime feel, and the gameplay actually looks quite fun. It reminds me of a Pokemon vibe, the way that it all just comes together, and the gameplay itself is similar to what you would experience in a MOBA style game. I like the whole action RPG view, the top-down view inside of this game, and the combat's actually quite nice as well, with a lot of different characters that you could choose from. It's one that's definitely fun to play. So with that, it's one that I can recommend that you try. It's one worth downloading because there's definitely a good chance you'll enjoy it. Smash Legends is a fighting style game. It's like a Brawlhalla style title, anime themed, and actually quite fun. Again, having a bunch of different brawlers that you can play as to fight on the platforms and try and pull in the victory. It's not your traditional fighter like you would experience in a Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter, but definitely more of a Brawlhalla style, which, by the way, is one of the best mobile games and games on Steam out there. This one is actually a lot of fun and quite fun to play with friends as well. Dragon Ball Z Dokkan. This is obviously going to be a very popular game because it's themed to Dragon Ball Z. Whenever you bring in that IP, you bring in an audience of people that would really love in playing this one. Now, this is a puzzle style game, an RPG puzzle style game, which is what ruins it for me. As you can see, the gameplay mechanic is not what you would expect. You would expect some type of fighting and combat, which does come in some elements to the game, but it's not the core gameplay. With that being said, some people really do like puzzle games and Dragon Ball Z, which those are the people I would recommend it for For others that don't like puzzle games, or aren't a big fan of Dragon Ball Z, I would probably say that it would be a pass for any of you. Now here is one of my favorite fighting games on mobile altogether. Skullgirls is a ton of fun. It's an original IP that allows you to get into that fighting mechanic. It's anime inspired and the graphics are just actually insane. They remind me of me watching a cartoon back in the day with some really cool fun combat. Speaking of combat, it's actually really fun to engage in that within the game. This is a game that I can highly recommend. IP is on point, gameplay is smooth, it looks amazing, combat is fun. This one is a win if you're into fighters and you want something that's a little bit anime inspired. Dragon Ball Legends, another Dragon Ball game on the list. But this one is an action fighter and it's multiplayer. More up the alley of those of you that are looking for something that's high action, fast paced, great graphics in a Dragon Ball realm. Very fun game here. I recommend you play it. And of course, extremely popular, as I mentioned before, because of the IP. I would very much prefer this over the puzzle version of the game, personally. Honkai Impact 3rd. This game is an amazing action RPG. It's been around for actually quite a while. This is before Genshin Impact time. And the graphics, on point. Combat, on point. Action RPG, yes, it actually is a true action RPG game with multiplayer and a really overall fun experience. Genshin does things right. Now, there's a couple of other games on the list here today that also do a great job in this genre, which we'll get to in a second. But this one, I recommend you play. It's still good to this day. The King of Fighters, another fighting game on the list today. It kind of fits well with the whole anime genre, right? It goes well with the fighters. This is one that's been around for a while. It's been popular for a long time, and it definitely has a different look than many of the other fighters that you see on the platform. It definitely has a mixture of like a Street Fighter feel as well as an action RPG look in certain segments of the game, but the combat is fun. The combat feels smooth when you play it, and the IP is quite nice, different looking than a lot of the other anime that we have on the list today, and fun. I would recommend that you give this one a shot. Legend of Ace is a true 5v5 anime-inspired MOBA. Like many of the other MOBAs that you see on the mobile platform and more, we have one here that's been around for a while. Again, nothing brand new here. Definitely has a League of Legends style feel to it, and overall gameplay that's quite fun, with a bunch of different characters that you could also play. For someone that's looking for a MOBA that's off the beaten path a little bit, not one of the big boys in the scene, this is the one you may like. Or you could always play Pokemon Unite, which is another MOBA, which also is going to be massive because of IP. The gameplay is smooth, the game looks great, and the way that you score and win is actually a bit different with that ring basketball style system. I know, it's not basketball, but you know what I mean if you played the game before. This is a really good MOBA. Even if you're not into the Pokemon style, or if you're not into the IP, it's still one I would recommend you try. All right, here we go. Wuthering Waves, another amazing, dark, anime-style action RPG. Now, I don't know how well you guys know me. Some of you have been here for 8 years. Others, maybe this is your first time. Hi, welcome, I'm Echo. Subscribe to the channel, please. But I love action RPGs. And Wuthering Waves is one that I quite like and would very much recommend that you download right now and try. And like I said, there's even more coming up in a minute. And BlazBlue, another fighting style game. I remember when this was coming to mobile. It was such a big deal. Everyone that was into fighters was very excited about this one coming. It hasn't been as popular as most people would have expected, but it is actually a great fighting game. The mechanics are awesome. One of the better fighters on mobile, in my opinion, and one that's a lot of fun with a great IP, great graphics, and really smooth combat. I'd recommend you play this one. Yeah, so action RPGs, you know, my thing that are actually really good. Aether Gazer is another example. And I like dark ARPGs. Aether Gazer is another one that's just a little bit darker, taking you into a realm that's not bright and shiny and just happy and full of joy. We got a little bit of hate inside of this one with that dark fantasy anime feel, and I absolutely love that. Again, another great IP, another great combat experience, and a world that you're going to enjoy exploring. Aether Gazer is another one that's a go-to. You can't go wrong trying. And then you have Punishing Gray Raven, which is also very similar, but this one takes you into a futuristic realm where a lot of the weapons that you're using are like guns and things of that nature that are a little bit more futuristic for more ranged attack. That's what makes this one cool and stand out a little bit more. Again, really great looking graphics, really fun combat, but you have both ranged and melee attacks with some weapons that you wouldn't expect in the genre, which is why I quite like it and why I recommend that you try it. One Piece Bounty Rush. This is a casual fighting game, which seems like it has some fun elements, but also seems a bit goofy. After sharing with you all the games that I've shared so far on the list, the ones that Google recommends, this is one that, although it's probably a decent time, I can't recommend it after some of the other amazing titles that I already shared, so I'd probably stay away from this one myself. Bleach Brave Souls, another action RPG that's not quite up to the standard of some of the others that we've seen already on today's list. Again, not saying combat is bad, not saying the game is bad, but I'd probably choose some of the others to play before I dive in and jump and play this one. If you don't want to miss out on some of the best mobile games that you should be playing right now, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on tomorrow's video.